Hi, my name is Monte Tilgner with the Iowa High School Athletic Association. This training video is going to be one of our position-specific videos. It's going to focus on the wing officials, the headline judge, who's opposite the press box, and the line judge, who's on the press box side. We're going to look at the mechanics and judgment and philosophies that these officials will use on the variety of types of plays that they will see throughout a game. This first play we're going to look at is just offensive holding, and we really want to work on increasing our threshold of what makes something an offensive hold. We need it to be a material restriction at the point of attack before we put a flag down. The really only change to that would be if you have a takedown foul, and if a takedown occurs, if the ball is not becoming dead right after that takedown occurs, then you'd want a flag, and that's because that instigates further roughness. So takedowns we want a flag, but other than that, if it's just a grab and restrict or jerk and restrict, we want it to be at the point of attack and have an impact on that play before we would put a flag down. So let's take a look at this one. We're just going to have a very good block here by our right tackle, and we talk about blocking what's presented to you, and this guy, that's what he does. He blocks what's presented to him. So if we go look at this, he has a player he's blocking that's outside of him, so he's blocking the right shoulder of that player, and he just continues to drive that player. And yeah, they do go down to the ground, but he does not grab or jerk and twist his shoulders and restrict him down to the ground. He simply blocks him and drives him down to the ground. But that is not something that would be a hold, and not a hold that we would want called. So very good job by this crew of not flagging this. We'll come back and talk about the goal line mechanics on this play, on plays similar to this, a couple plays down the road. This is going to be a huge point of emphasis for us this year with our wing officials. Watching the games in the Dome last year, we just were not doing a good job of doing what we need to mechanically as far as looking where we need to be on punt plays. So on this punt play, we're going to have a hold on the return team, and it's going to occur during the kick. And it's one that we don't see, and it's one that a lot of our crews would not have seen because we were not looking here. We had line of scrimmage officials who were running downfield. They were looking at the ball. They were looking at the return man. And we got to understand our back judge is going to be watching our return man for a fair catch signal. He's not going to be watching any blocks until after that ball is possessed. So as you are going down the field, you need to be looking at the guys, the gunners on your side of the field, or the first ones down on your side of the field, and what they're doing. So if you take a look here, top of the screen, you can see we're going to have a takedown right there by the return team. And this is going to be a post-scrimmage kick or PSK foul. So this is going to be a foul that occurs during the kick. And as we're running downfield here, we need to be looking at this. We need to be watching these players as we're going down. So the headline judge would see that hold. The line judge would be seeing this one. And our umpire is going to step up and have second and third wave guys in the middle of the field. And then we continue downfield, getting downfield as far as we can. Now talking about this penalty, again, this would be a post-scrimmage kick or a PSK foul. And so we're going to report this to our referee. Let's say the number was 20. You'd report to the referee during the kick, holding return team number 20. And when you say during the kick, that's going to kind of get everyone thinking PSK. And then we know we're going to enforce this from the dead ball spot. In this case, if there would be possession by team R, then that we would go by the beanbag, which is going to be where that back judge is going to have it. So we need to do a better job of watching gunners and watching guys as we are going downfield. Okay, understanding what the offense can do versus what the defense can do. So the defense can grab a guy and throw him to the ground, and it is not a foul. So if you take a look at this play, illustrates this very well. It's very explicit in the rule book. They're trying to, they can basically get rid of the guy to go, make an attempt to get to the runner or to the ball. So in this case, the defender throws him down, and nothing wrong with that. The player here is like, what, that's got to be a foul? Nope, it's not. And we need to know that that is the rule, and we need to make sure that we know who throws down who. And sometimes it looks like they're both throwing each other down. And when that's the case, we're not going to call offensive holding because the defender's just involved in that takedown as the offensive player. But in this case, it's definitely the defender throwing him down, and that is not a foul. Okay, next play, just talking about forward progress. And on this play here, when we have a pass, talk more about this, but when we have a pass coming at us, step back into the offensive backfield, 3, 4, 5 yards, and that'll give you a better look at forward backward. It'll also help you out with forward progress. But we one of our officials does a great job here, and the other one does not. So there's our forward progress spot right there at the 47-yard line, the positive 47-yard line. And he gets driven back, and now the line judge here at the bottom of the screen is incorrect in not giving this guy really any forward progress. He's going back to where he's tackled at the negative 48. But our H is doing a great job here. You can see he's got his hand on his O2O. He's got his hand up, and he's saying, I've got your forward progress spot right here. That's the perfect forward progress spot by this official, and that's what we want with some help from Crossfield spots. All right, we're going to go and take a look at a few third down plays, fourth down plays, and goal line plays here in the next several plays. So we're going to have a little catchphrase that we're going to use to help you remember what we want you to do on third and fourth downs. It's pretty easy. Third down flow, fourth down go. So if we have a third down play, we are going to flow to the line to gain at the snap. If we have a fourth down play, we are going to immediately go to the line to gain at the snap. All right, so let's take a look at this one. We've got 3rd and 5 here. And so immediately we're going to start flowing to the line to gain on the snap. And you can see our line official, our H at the top of the screen starts to flow. Go a little harder, but get there and then just stop. And if you get there and are stopped, I'd like you to be there before this point. We also would want our line judge to be there since it's the third down. We should already be there. Our headline judge is going to be it will help us with this Crossfield spot. And we do get a good spot on this play by our H at the top. And if you watch, our line judge is going to come down here and he's going to clean these players up. And now you can see what's he doing here. Look at the bill of his cap. He's looking across the field for his partner to give him the Crossfield spot. And that's exactly when we use Crossfield mechanics, is on these stop routes or these out routes. But we would want both officials, since this is third down, to be flowing to that line to gain. And really in this situation, in most situations, we should be able to get to the line to gain before that runner gets there or before that ball gets there. So fourth down, we want to go. So just a little more urgency. We want to go hard at the snap all the way to the line to gain. And then we are going to, if they're short, we're going to go back to that dead ball spot and we're going to square off that spot. So this does show a 4th and 4 play. Not exactly what we want. We do end up getting there, but right now I want both our headline judge and our line judge immediately going hard to the line to gain and just be there. We should already be there right now. All right. We do end up eventually going there. Stop right here at this point. Okay. So when we go, we want to stop at the line to gain. We don't want to go past it, and we don't want to stop short of it. Now, if that player ends up going down, then as we do here, we're going to come back and we're going to get that spot. The next 3 are going to be some goal line mechanics. So mechanics when we are at or inside the 10. So from the 10 to the 5-yard line. So this is a little trickier one. We have a 3rd and 3 from the 9-yard line. And so now we talked about, the line to gain on 3rd and 4th down as our money line. And the goal line is also a money line. So in this case, we've kind of got 2 money lines. We got the line to gain before we get to the goal line. So what we're going to do is we're going to release immediately to the line to gain. We're going to hesitate there until the runner looks like he's going to get to the line to gain. And then if we're pretty certain he's going to get there, then we're going to release the line to gain, and we're going to go hard to the goal line, and we want to beat him there. So you can see we do a good job of getting, oops, my bad, went too far. We do a good job of getting the line to gain, go a little quicker, but we do get there before that runner does. And now that he's about at that line to gain and we can tell he's going to make it there, now we want to go hard to that goal line. And then if he doesn't make it, we can come back and get that dead ball spot. Okay, so that's from the 10 to the 5. Now, if we are at the 5 or the 4 or inside the 5, we are going to immediately release to the goal line. And this is a great play to illustrate a couple things. One, how we signal touchdown, where we signal to, what we look at as we're signaling, and that's so we don't miss a foul. So again, these officials do an excellent job of releasing immediately to the goal line. You can watch here our headline judge at the top. Okay, release immediately to the goal line. Just talking about back judge there. We don't worry about that. Does a great job releasing right to the goal line right away, and so does our line judge. Nope, my bad. Our line judge is late getting there. We'd want him to be there already. That way he can just look at that feet ball, and we always want to go feet ball. But the problem here is now our line judge is signaling touchdown to the middle of the field. Why? We don't need to square up to the field and signal to the middle. The field has never fouled. Players foul. There's a lot of emotion on a scoring play. So you need to turn around and you need to be facing these players right here and be looking at them as you signal touchdown. There's nothing that says you need to signal touchdown in the middle of the field. All right. So turn around as you're signaling and watch those players, because if you do it at this point, you turn around, now it might be too late. And this is something for a referee and for all line scrimmage officials to know as well if you ever work referee. The referee should only signal touchdown on a try or a field goal. On a regular scrimmage play that results in a touchdown, you do not need to signal to the press box as a referee. Okay, now we got reverse goal line mechanics. Very specific mechanics on reverse goal line. So reverse goal line is anywhere inside the 10 going out. So in this case, we're inside the 5. So here's our mechanics. If we are snapping the ball between the 10 and the 5, the L holds the line of scrimmage. The H will start to release back towards the goal line, read the play, and if that goal line is threatened, you need to be there before we have a potential for a safety. If the ball is snapped at the 5 to the 3, the H immediately goes to the goal line hard at the snap. The L will read and react to the play and getting back to the goal line if his side is threatened. If the ball is snapped at or inside the 3, both the H and L immediately go to the goal line, and then they reverse. They will work the play as soon as it's not threatened. This is something we definitely want to get on our O2O, and we want to, say reverse goal line mechanics. Anytime we have any of these, really want to do that. So you can see our H does a very good job here, right at the snap of going back, squaring up on that goal line. That's exactly what we want. He's not going to move off that until that goal line is not threatened. So excellent job on that play. Reverse goal line mechanics. Another great example of a crossfield spot here. So the only thing is we do have a third down right here. So remember, third down, we flow. And so at the snap, we want both the H and the L to be flowing. All right. And to that line to gain and be there. And if they're both there, our L can help with this and have a little better view maybe. But really, this is a crossfield spot, exactly when we want to use it. So the headline judge should be already at the line to gain, and then he sees that runner or that receiver possesses that ball and is contacted backward and is going to give him that forward progress. So that's where he's going to mark it. You can see our official does come up and, again, does an excellent job of cleaning up players. And now, again, he's looking over at his partner for that crossfield spot. But let's go back. Remember, this is one example of an illegal contact against a defenseless player, that new rule that was in play last year. What does he need to do to not have this foul? He needs to simply wrap up. He can make the same hard hit and wrap up, and it would not be a foul. But when he just hits him and releases him like this, by definition, that is a foul. And that would be a 15-yard penalty that would be tacked on per rule 232.16D. We'll look at some more of those coming up. All right, what do we do when we have a player, an eligible number player, who is covered up? And some teams do this purposely because they might want someone defensively to be covering him, or in their scheme, they want him to be covered. And they know he's going to go out, but it's going to be a run, or he's simply going to stay in and block, because it's not a foul if an ineligible player goes downfield if the pass does not cross the line of scrimmage. It's also not a foul if he doesn't cross the line of scrimmage himself. So in this play, however, we've got an eligible number who is covered up by the wideout, so he's ineligible. So what do? Very, very important that we recognize this. Our back judge should recognize it. Our wing officials should recognize it when they're coming out for the formation, that we have an eligible number, and they should know that he's covered up. So either our line judge or our back judge get on the 020 and say, the slot number, I don't know, maybe 18, slot number 18 is covered. And then what we see is he goes downfield and he catches the ball. So now we better have a flag down. So first of all, what's our foul? Who should have a flag? And what's our penalty enforcement? Well, if we did a good job and either our back judge or our line of scrimmage official, one of the two, got on the 020 and said that number 18 was covered up, then when we see him go downfield, we know we have hanging IDP, ineligible player downfield, IDP. And if we have IDP hanging, it's not a foul. We don't throw a flag right away. But as soon as that pass crosses, a legal pass across the line of scrimmage, we now do have a foul. So in this case, what is our foul? It is for an ineligible player downfield, illegal touching by an ineligible player downfield. And that in high school football is a 5-yard penalty from the basic spot on a pass play. We know is the previous spot. It's going to be a 5-yard previous spot penalty, and it is a loss of down. So we would go back and have to repeat, in this case, second down, whatever down that is, with the 5-yard penalty and loss of down. Very important that we communicate that. Next one is wing mechanics on a regular pass play. Now this is a 3rd and 33, so they're going to pass, right? It's a 3rd down play. We want to be releasing to the line to gain anyway. Now there's no way we're going to get all the way to that line to gain, but we do want to release on the snap. All right. But even if it's a 1st down play or a 2nd down play, if it's a drop back pass, we want to release downfield once we have players who are, not in our area, who are more than 5 to 10 yards downfield. So in this case, we have a problem. This is a big problem that I noticed last year. Our wing officials are not watching receivers. Our wing officials are looking back to see what the quarterback's doing, or maybe if the tackle is holding or something like that. We have got to release our tackles to our referee and umpire to call holding. We've got to be watching receivers downfield, okay? So there's 3 guys getting blocked. We have 4 officials watching those guys at the line of scrimmage blocking. Meanwhile, we've got 4 guys running pass routes, and the back judge is the only one watching them. That's not a good situation. If you don't have an immediate hold on your tackle on a pass play, you must release the line of scrimmage and watch your receivers. So we should be watching here instead of back there. We don't have an issue on this play, but if we did, we had a defensive hold or something like that, we would not be in position. We would not be looking at the right place to see it. So this one was on a training tape last year, as a lot of these were, but this is a legal block by a defender, because this is still an eligible receiver who can block him, so he can block that receiver. And we what we had is we had flags down by our umpire and our line of scrimmage official on this play for a blindside block. And if we look, that's not a blindside block. All right, that is a receiver who's in front of him. He's in legal blocking position. Since this receiver can block the defender can block him. It doesn't matter that the defender blocks, lays him out. There's nothing wrong with that hit. So there should not be a foul on that play. We need to understand what is a blindside block. Now, if what can make this a blindside block is if this receiver would make this, let's see what I got here. Make sure I have an arrow. Oops, sorry. Make sure I have an arrow going here. If this receiver would go like this and that running that route, and now this defender comes up and from the side initiates that same block, that would be a blindside block. But in this case, he's square in front of him. This is not a foul for a blindside block. Our umpire doesn't see the block. He sees the aftermath and thinks it had to be a foul, throws his flag, and we have to see action before we throw a flag. We're going to look at several blindside blocks, ones that our line of scrimmage officials should get. So this is a free kick, and if we're handling things properly, right now we've got our line of scrimmage official who is going to be coming up the sideline. He's back at the goal line, and our line of scrimmage official here, unless we know that guy never gets the ball to the 20, is going to be somewhere over here coming down, but their eyes should be there. And one of these two officials should be able to see that blindside block. We've got our umpire, who you're definitely not going to come into the field of play in this situation with the squib kick coming down, but our umpire is watching the ball, see where it goes out of bounds. So that block has to be by somebody else. It'd also be a great pickup by a referee. But back judges, remember, open up your vision. The line of scrimmage officials, if you're in this position, you want to see this guy with the brick in his hand, and we need to get that foul. That's something that could injure a player. He could be out for the rest of the year, possibly. Again, opening our vision to blindside blocks. So we talked about this in the previous plays, where when we have a run coming at us or a quick pitch, a quick pass, we want to back up 3 to 5 yards. So right now, if our line judge would go back 5 yards to this position when he sees this run coming at him, then he can open up his vision and focus on this block. All right. As we continue, if our line of scrimmage official now continues to come back more because this guy bounced it out wider and deeper, now he gets back here, and then he would be in position now to open up from here and see this action. The back judge 100% should be on this block. Maybe the referee, maybe the umpire, but a great line of scrimmage official is going to be back here to be able to open up, and he's going to see this block. So if you're in that position right there, you would see that block. Where you are right now, it's going to be very difficult for you to see that block because you do have the action around the runner, and you don't have that kind of in your peripheral that you'll be able to pick up. All right. Last comment, that's about the back judge. Won't worry about that. Again, this would be one that was picked up by our headline judge. This is a punt play. Again, as you're coming down the field, you're watching these gunners, and there's no action there. But right now, we are in pretty good position, okay, by everybody. But now we need to see this player who is running back against the grain. So our line judge, if we were able to get downfield a little further and could be here at this point, then, we got forward progress. All right, we do have that forward progress spot, but this is going to be picked up by our backside wing, because we know that no matter where our line judge is, he's not going to see this block. He's got the action on the runner. You'd be in better position if you were back here watching the action on the run and trailing it like a regular play. But great job by our headline judge, top of the screen, looking right where he should be and picking up that block. And you can see his flag comes out right there. Boom, there it is. And we need to know the status of the ball at that point. So we've got a running play going on. The end of the run is going to be our basic spot. The foul was in front of it, so we're going to enforce that from the end of the run, which is the basic spot. This is one, anytime we see a receiver coming to the inside, if we're a wing, back judge should get this, but the wing should as well. We need to see this action. Really should have 3 people looking at this particular block. It's the only block that is of any relevance right now in this play. And that is blindside, that is forcible. Be careful. You can't just say, oh, his arm's extended and he pushed him. If we go back, his hands are in towards his body. He hits the contact is with the shoulder pads, and then he extends his hands to push. That still is a foul for an illegal blindside block. The contact was not with the hands out in front, extended out in front with the push. The contact was with the shoulder pads and the chest, and then they extend to try to get away with that not being a blindside block. Okay, we have several of these which are illegal hit against the defenseless receiver. We'll be able to go through these a little quicker. Again, we don't ever want our officials to be on the field anymore. So it's an older mechanic. Stay off the field. I don't care where the ball position is. I don't care if there's no receiver out there at all. Stay off the field. You're going to see things better. But here we're going to see a great example. That is your illegal contact against a defenseless receiver, defenseless player is worded. He could make that same hit if he would wrap up, but that is a foul. That's one that we should probably have 3 flags, maybe even 4 flags. Umpires should be pivoting as well. But line of scrimmage officials, back judge should definitely have a flag on that. Remember, when that ball goes in the air, you all are supposed to be focusing on where that catch no catch is. Okay, so here's another one. And again, our rule reference was there. Again, forcible contact, that is a foul. And when that ball's in the air, it doesn't matter who your keys are, who your responsibility is. When that ball's in the air, we should have both line of scrimmage officials going to help with that catch, no catch, and we should have a foul. We do get one from our back judge. Great call by the back judge. Really would expect anybody else who saw that contact to be on that as well. It also really helps sell that if we have 2 or 3 flags on one of those hits instead of just one. Again, this shows how you can have just as hard of a hit and not have it be a foul. This is a wrap up. After that hard hit, he's wrapping him up with the hard hit. So again, a lot of contact, very punishable contact, but wrapping up. And good job that we did not flag this, because otherwise we would have taken away an interception. I think this is the last one. Again, incomplete pass is going to be a 15-yard previous spot enforcement, but if we have completed catch, that's a personal foul, which will be tacked on. So there's our hit. And again, wrap him up, and it would not be a foul per that rule. Without a wrap up, that is a foul. All right, here we have a defensive pass interference foul. And again, remember that defensive pass interference window opens when the ball is in the air, where offensive pass interference, that window for a possible foul opens at the snap. So in this case, initially, we have a double here, 2 guys at the top, 2 guys at the bottom. So our back judge is going to be on our line judge's side. Both will be on this front guy. And then you can see as we go downfield. Okay, so we'll go back and look at this, but the ball was in the air. He's no longer potential blocker because he's on the same yard line or beyond that guy. Early contact, not playing the ball, would be our category for DPI. So let's look at the contact here. It's going to be by this linebacker right here. Okay, he's on the same yard line. This receiver's looking back for the ball. He's no longer potential blocker for that defender. The ball's in the air. We have contact, early contact, not playing the ball, defensive pass interference, 15 yards from the previous spot, and that one will result in a first down. However, remember, it is no longer an automatic first down. Another one of our catchphrases, when in doubt, wipe it out. So anytime you have doubt on if we had a completed pass and a fumble, or if we had an incomplete pass, make it an incomplete pass. Okay, so does he possess it long enough? If you have any doubt, you want to make that an incomplete forward pass. If you slow it down, you can make about anything a catch, but if he's in the process of securing that ball, when he's contacted and that ball pops out because of the contact or whatever, make that an incomplete forward pass. Don't give the offense the yardage. Definitely don't give the defense the ball if they would fall on it. Okay, when in doubt, wipe it out. All right, we have a illegal block below the waist. First of all, knowing the rules, but then who should see this? This 100% should be seen by our line judge at the bottom of the screen. Just knowing our free blocking zone and who can block low. You need to be on the line of scrimmage. Both the offensive player and the defensive player needs to be immediate at the snap. So we're going to have a guard who's going to pull. Once that guard pulls, he no longer is immediate at the snap. He can't block low or be blocked low. This defender, I don't know if he's a D-end or a stand-up D-end or if he's a defensive back coming in to blitz, but that defender is the one who goes blocks low. So he can't block low, nor can he be blocked low. This is a pretty easy call for a block below the waist. You can see our rule references there, but this is one that we should get. Our line judge should be looking right at this action, and definitely a block below the waist. Remember, if their intent is to go low, they're buying that foul. That's the terminology we use. He's intending to go low. You can see it's obvious he's intending to go low. So don't, split hairs. Oh, is he at the waist, below the waist? If he's intending to go low and he's at or below the waist, that's a foul for a block below the waist. Now, talking about penalty enforcement, this is a personal foul by Team B. The ball ended up behind the line of scrimmage. So remember, per the new rule last year, this would now be enforced from the previous spot. And in this case, it's going to be a half the distance foul because it was a foul by the defense going in. Another block below the waist. Again, this is one that I think our line judge could get. So this is a player who's going to either block low or be blocked low. A lot of times these running backs go into the line. They block low. If they're not on the line of scrimmage at the snap, they cannot block low, nor can they be blocked low. Again, definitely goes low. He not only goes low, but if you watch, he wraps up the leg of this defender. So, and then he grabs him. We're not going to have two flags. We're not going to have a flag for holding and a block below the waist. It's a block below the waist. It's a 15-yard foul, holds a 10-yard foul, illegal block below the waist. Again, this is going to be on the offense. So in this case, we have a running play. Basic spot is the end of the run. We have a foul by the offense behind the basic spot, and we're going to enforce that then from the spot of the foul. Couple illegal block in the back fouls. This is a really good one picked up by the referee. Our line of scrimmage official definitely should have been on this as well. So if we're in position where we should be, the back judge 100% should be looking at this, but we're talking about line of scrimmage. So line of scrimmage official, if you're trailing this play like you should be, so if our line judge at the bottom of the screen is at the 18, 19-yard line where we want him to be right now, like the headline judge is, he'd be in perfect position to see this block. You don't have to officiate this guy. Don't officiate air. You don't need to see what he's doing, running with the ball in space. No one's around him. He's free of foul. So focus on this block. And boom, there it is. If they are behind them, we call this chase mode. If they're in chase mode, then any contact in the back is a foul. This is really a pretty easy one. And again, we have a running play. It's a foul by the offense behind the end of the run. So it's going to be a spot foul. We need to get our flag to the right spot if our flag was not at the right spot when we threw it. Again, this one is picked up by our headline judge, top of the screen. Excellent work mechanically by this headline judge. Goes to the line of gain, but stop right there and wait. Once that guy gets past the line of gain, now wait until he gets 3-4 yards downfield, and then you can focus on those blocks better. This is just a very good get by both our back judge and our headline judge. Again, chase mode. Chase mode meaning he's behind him. He's not really chasing him in this case, but he is behind him. And he's creeping up on him. And that little bit of contact right there, you can see, puts this defender down. And even if it doesn't put him all the way down to the ground, if it just knocks him off balance, if they're in chase mode, contact in the back is a foul. You can see our flags come out. And this just, again, our spot is going to be a spot foul. So we're going to move our flags, get them in the same location. And then we're going to go from the 42, from the 32 back to the 42. Ball position matters as well. This happened outside of position 5. So we're going to mark this off from the 32 to the 42, snap at position 5. I drew my arrow down here because I couldn't get back to the 42 if I drew it up here at position 5. Okay, mechanics and philosophy and forward backward pass. Again, these are change of possession plays. Very important that we get these right. Just note for the back judge there, we won't worry about that. So here's what happened. We've definitely got a forward pass on this. The pass released from the 27, first touch to the 26. Therefore, it's a forward pass. Really, in high school, it's the initial direction of the pass, actually. The initial direction is forward. Usually we get some help with the 26, 27, 26 as well, but initial direction is forward. So remember, by rule, this is what we want to do mechanically, okay? So mechanically, if the quarterback's in shotgun formation, unless we have trips to the line judge's side, the line judge should have forward backward pass. If the quarterback is under center and it's thrown to your side, you're primary and forward backward. But both line of scrimmage officials can help, and both should have an opinion on this as a forward backward pass. Here's what happened. We got a muff recovered by the defense. We get together, we talk about it. Neither line of scrimmage official is sure if it was forward or backward. The referee is not sure. This is the most important part. If we have doubt, we fall back on philosophy. So get together, talk about it, and we're not sure, then we're going to fall back on philosophy, which is that this is a forward pass. If we do not have replay, forward backward pass is a forward pass and incomplete. In order to be a backward pass, we need no doubt that it was backward. And another philosophy based on this is no cheap turnovers. So what we want to do is we want to talk about this play when we're done, and then we can get together and our referee can come on the mic and say, after crew discussion, this is ruled a forward pass, incomplete, third down. But wing officials, we've got to do a better job on reading those, and we need to help on those rulings. But when in doubt, go back to philosophy. When in doubt, it is a forward pass. Last two plays, kick plays. So this is kind of a crazy one. What happens? What has to happen for a kick to cross the line of scrimmage, and what can K do after, or if it does not cross, or if it does cross and come back? So just a really bad punt here. And he's rushed. This ball goes up, comes back, and no one decides to pick it up. Well, look where in high school football, if that ball is in the air beyond and gets blown back, it's beyond. In this case, you can see that ball's coming straight down here. So this ball never gets beyond the line of scrimmage. So either team could pick it up, but team K could pick up and advance this ball. And we need to know that. We need to know that ruling. So again, we do want to release downfield right away. And we want our H. This is why, headline judge, we want you to hold until you see that ball is possessed by the kicker and he goes to step and kick it before we release. So if this happens, we can still be there. He does a nice job of coming back to know that we were behind. All right, last play. This is just with our field goal mechanics, understanding that we've got, in this case, our line judge goes underneath the post, and with our back judge, so our headline judge has the entire line of scrimmage, and you need to not just stop on this half. You need to be looking all the way across, because what we're having is these guys know that there's no one on this side. They're getting an early start and getting some blocks on these. This is definitely encroachment on the defense, should be shut down as a dead ball foul. But I think we're forgetting that we've got that whole line of scrimmage. We need to take care of that and get that for encroachment on the defense and shut this down. This is blocked, but luckily nothing happens as a result. But what we do have is a foul that we do not get enforced, and we do not give them the opportunity to get a field goal kickoff. All right, I know that's long, but these position-specific ones are going to be a little longer. A lot of stuff to cover, trying to go in a lot of detail in what we want from our position-specific videos. So watch this. If you like it, give it a thumbs up in YouTube. And I think it's a great idea for all of our positions. If you just work wing, watch the referee one, watch the back judge one, watch the umpire one to see what they do and get a better knowledge of what everyone on your crew does in all these situations and what they're doing mechanically and philosophically, what they are looking for. So a lot of plays, a lot of time. Hopefully you found it beneficial, and we'll talk to you again soon.